Okay, good afternoon. I'm Major Peter Malecki with the Atlanta Police Department. To my left here is Lieutenant Jermaine Dearlove. He is our homicide commander. And to my right is Investigator Scott DeMeester. He ended up being the lead detective on this case, and he serves as a member of our complex case investigation. So we're here today to provide a little update on what started out as a missing person case from August 1st for 24-year-old Allahnia Lenoir. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the case. On August 1st, we received a 911 call reporting 24-year-old Allahnia Lenoir missing. As with all missing persons investigations, that case was immediately assigned to our missing persons unit, where they began to follow up on that case. Thanks to the media, we did push out a BOLO for that missing person, and we began to receive numerous tips and information that gave us a starting point to work in this investigation. Within the first 24 hours of this case, our missing persons unit was able to utilize technology and video information to discover the last known location for Allahnia. The initial investigation showed us that Allahnia was last seen during the early morning hours of July 31st at 1660 Peachtree Street, which is the Peachtree Midtown Apartments. By this point in the investigation, we also determined two male individuals that were at that apartment with Allahnia at the time of her disappearance. Those two males were identified as Deontay Reynolds and 29-year-old Stephen Abate. At that point in the case, we quickly began to realize that there may be some foul play involved in the disappearance of Allahnia. At that point in the case, we turned the investigation over to our complex case investigators, where Detective DeMeester took point on this case. So we were able to determine through technology and search warrants that were obtained in this investigation approximate locations where we believed Allahnia may be located. We did know that she did not at any point leave 1660 Peachtree Street on her own accord. We do believe that she had died inside of the apartment and that it was potentially relocated to an undetermined location. We conducted numerous manual searches at areas where technological evidence suggested that Allahnia may be located without success. We utilized the assistance of cadaver dogs, homicide detectives, and entire police recruit classes. At this point, we have developed enough evidence to suggest that Allahnia was murdered and that her body was disposed of. We have secured Fulton County arrest warrants for two individuals. One of those individuals is currently in custody at the Fulton County Jail, 29-year-old Deontay Reynolds. The second subject we are going to ask for the help of the media and the general public to locate. He is 29-year-old Stephen Abate. We do believe that Stephen is located somewhere in the metro Atlanta area, and so we would again ask that if anybody has information on his whereabouts or any information regarding this investigation, that they would please contact the Atlanta Police Department or Crime Stoppers and provide us with that information. So keeping in mind that this still is a very open, active investigation, our ultimate goal is to locate the body of Allahnia and be able to provide closure for this grieving family. But we will take some questions that we are able to answer at this point.
Were there any leads or tips that led you to that? I know you said it was like technology, but were there any leads or tips that led you to that location as far as where you believe she was killed?
So that's the great job that our missing persons unit did right off the bat. And again, every missing persons case that we get, we investigate aggressively. We take each one of these cases seriously, and we're able to utilize anything at all at our disposal to locate this individual. So in this case, it was an exigent request for a phone company to get a last known location. And that's what led us initially to that apartment complex.
Did Allahnia know the two gentlemen prior to that night?
So we do believe that they did have a brief acquaintanceship or relationship. They were not complete strangers at the point of that night inside of the apartment.
Did Reynolds turn himself in, or was that a...
He was apprehended in Conyers, Georgia, and then transported to the Fulton County Jail.
Are there going to be any charges potentially for the third person who was there with them that night?
Uh,
The woman, she was with a friend.
So, no, at this point, we are still exploring everything. The evidence we have at this point does not suggest that that individual was culpable in the disappearance or death of Alani.
Do you believe that Avante is still in the metro Atlanta area or maybe left the area?
So, that's where we're really reaching out and asking for help from the public. At this point, we do believe he may still be in the metro area. And certainly anytime we advertise an individual's face and let them know that they are wanted, we know that it increases the likelihood of that person trying to flee. But we also know that we are stronger when we work together with the community. And we are confident that tips will come in that will lead us to the apprehension of this individual.
And what charges is Reynolds facing?
So that, both those individuals are facing felony murder and concealing the death of another.
Did Reynolds or do y'all have any indication about how she might have been killed?
So that's something that obviously still being an open and active investigation, we're not quite ready to push out just yet, as we still have to prepare this case for litigation.
The family thought that this might have been a case of sex trafficking. Do you know what the motive might have been for the murder?
So no, obviously we investigate every single aspect of every case that may lead us to justice for a family, but no, that is completely irrelevant to our investigation. And as I said, we are still trying to determine motives, and we are hoping that when we make this second apprehension, we're able to interview this individual in hopes that he will be cooperative to provide some of these answers and some of this closure to this family.
All right, one more question.
Is the first suspect, has he said anything? Is he cooperating with you all at this time?
So at this point, no, they have not been cooperative. They have requested counsel and have not cooperated further in this investigation. We do believe that they know the whereabouts of Alani, and so that is one of our hopes, that during this second apprehension that we will get that information and be able to bring her home to her family.
I'm going to ask Investigator Demeester to hold those photos, specifically of Obate. You can hold that one up.
It's the wanted subject.
Can you hold up the other guy as well? Did everyone get Stephen Obate?
Yes.
Okay. And then the second is Deontay. Put it in front like you had before.
And again, Deontay is in custody at the Fulton County Jail.
And Major, can you say and spell your first and last name?
Sure, it's Peter Malecki, M-A-L-E-C-K-I.
And we'll also email the photos as well, so you'll have it for pre-pro.
Can we have spellings for those names as well?
We'll
Yeah,
provide
sure,
all
we
that.
can email that out to you guys, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.